Hello there, Di here. I'm trying for about the umpteenth time to achieve the alcohol background demonstrated by Cat Hand in her mixed media Morsels. I think it was number 3. I keep trying it and can't achieve it. I can't get it to work at all. I've been using isopropyl alcohol, which was the suggested alcohol solution, but it seems to me that this must be a different product here in Australia to the American product. Everyone talks about it in their videos as being, you know, sort of dirt cheap and available in supermarkets and other stores in litre bottles, etc, etc, and they splash it around with gay abandon. This little 125ml one was a bit over $15 from my local. The only place I could get it was at a hardware store, and it has no effect on the background at all. It's about as useless as dropping water on it. It doesn't move anything much. And I tried and tried and tried to no effect. And then I decided, let's think about what I'm using. What's available, what's an alcohol sort of type solution, and people sometimes call it rubbing alcohol. Well, when I was nursing a million years ago, this is what we use, methylated spirits, for doing back rubs and things back in the good old days. And so I thought, let's try the meths. Let's try the methylated spirits to see if that has a better effect. It's got a child-proof cap, of course, which is impossible to get open. And I've got that there. Got a nice supply of it. So this is it. This is the last try. If this doesn't work, I'm giving up on the alcohol background, and I shall move on to number 4. I haven't really done any of the others because this one just threw me. It's such a simple little technique, and yet can't get it to work at all. So I've just got a piece of paper here, and I've put some yellow and some greens onto that. I started off with quite pastel colours, and then I darkened it up a little bit so there was a bit more contrast. And now I'm just puddling up the phthalo blue with water to get a nice loose solution. So fingers crossed, please. Everything's riding on this. Put a nice wet coating of this paint over the top of the green and yellow. And while it's still nice and wet, so we stop fluffing around here, stop rubbing it, and get in with the methylated spirits. Oh, this is moving it better than the other stuff did. Look at that. I don't know if it's doing brilliantly, but it's definitely moving more than the isopropyl did. Get some down in here. Look at that, it's moving it. Doesn't appear to be moving it as much as Cat's did. Hers was quite distinct. But maybe it's got a little bit further to go yet. Still seems to be affecting the surface. In fact, I can see where I'm putting it over what was already done. it seems to be peeling more of the colour away. I don't know if you can see that in the video. It seems to be brightening up in some areas where I've put a second layer on. Still seems to be moving it away. I'm keeping on putting it on. I think with a lot of these techniques, one of the most important things is learning when to stop. How's that? There's a lot of blue there. Well, I'm glad that worked. Well, it hasn't worked as well as Kat's has, but it certainly worked a lot better than any of my previous samples. Much better. Those patches are dry, and yet it seems to be look at that, it's getting really quite vibrant under there. If I'm leaving it to dry, seems to be pushing it away. Quite vibrant little areas turning up from it. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. One more there. I think it's gone as far as it can go. Well, that's pretty vibrant. Don't know if you can really get an idea of the bright patches on that. The colour, the lighting's not too brilliant as usual. I think I'll leave that to dry and I'll go and clean up my brushes, and I will come back and see what's here when I've done all that. See you soon. Here it is, it's finally dry. And now I'm just putting a nice even coat of Mod Podge over the surface. to hopefully increase the depth of colour. People often complain about the smell of Mod Podge. I don't think I've ever smelled it before, but it's definitely got a pong, but it's not totally unacceptable. There we go. That's a usable piece anyway. I'll be able to use that on stuff.